Hi, you guys. This is a long one. I really want you to listen to the whole thing, though. Lots of receipts in this one. And I heard from Jen Shah, and I'm going to share some of her message with you today. It's just for you guys. All right, so I want to play you a little bit from my bonus audio today about Jen Shah's reach out, and the rest of it will be in the Patreon if you want to listen to the whole thing. I'm doing it this way because it's already edited and perfectly done, and I don't want to have to duplicate effort here. So I'll just sit and listen to it with you. And then we'll get into the Salt Lake City recap and some other gossip. And her message would be that all this kind of sensationalized rendition of her prison is just not accurate. The only part of it that's accurate is that she's positive, that she's trying to stay positive, and she's trying to rehabilitate. And her two favorite things that she's doing right now are workout classes and helping women in the prison get their GEDs. All right, so let me continue because it gets even juicier. First of all, the next thing that I found out was that the big producer, Laurie Gordon for Shed Media, was a mole on the production staff at Shed Media and was spilling tea or manipulating people with information about what was coming out in the edit of the show ahead of time. And one such person was Jen Shah's manager. So I'm not sure if Laurie was supposed to do that, but she was. She was telling Jen Shah's manager everything that was happening on the show as it came out, and then that allowed them the opportunity to react to it. And the manager of Jen Shah, who I spoke with, he was the one who did Jen Shah's message on her Instagram responding to the black eye. He spoke to Jen on the phone. She told him what to say, and he put it up. But the reason he put it up so quickly was because he had been spilled the information from Laurie Gordon, and he describes her as a quote unquote mole in production and, leaking information that she's not supposed to leaking. And he thinks that she's going to get fired over it. That was his speculation, if she hasn't already, because I guess Shed knows now that she was doing that. Jen also said there was another lie that production made. Production had said that they did not know about Reality Von Tease 2, that Monica was that account, and that they did not know about the cease and desist that Jen Shah sent out to Monica Garcia, who was Monica Fowler at the time. That's how Jen knew Monica, by the way, not as Monica Garcia, but as Monica Fowler, which is interesting because she chose to use Garcia for the show instead of Fowler. So Jen Shah sent the cease and desist, which I posted in the Patreon, to Monica Fowler, Koa, and that other girl who we don't really know who she is. And she also sent it to production. And what Jen Shah said was that Monica Fowler actually was casting for season 3, and they were going to cast her. And Jen Shah found out and sent to production the cease and desist that she sent to Monica Fowler about stealing her security footage, recording her without her knowledge, et cetera, et cetera. That's the cease and desist, of course, like I said, that I posted in the Patreon. Anyway, production received a copy of that twice. So this is back in season 3 while they're casting Monica. Jen also writes an email or something to production and says, if you cast Monica Fowler after knowing what she did as laid out in this cease and desist, I will not be appearing on season 3. And Jen had so much power at that time because obviously they wanted to cover what was happening with Jen because she was becoming super famous from the indictment and everything, that they said, fine, no problem, we won't cast Monica. So then what happened was when Jen was gone, and I guess after Jen Shah said that she wouldn't let production shoot with her family, Coach Shah and the kids, and keep her kind of existing on the show in that way for season 4, then the production company switch hit to Monica and brought her on the show intentionally as not only an FU to Jen, who specifically said don't cast her in season 3, but also as an FU to Jen because they were perfectly aware at the time that Monica was reality Von Tease to posting all the secret stuff about Jen Shah on her feed. So, and production also casted Monica in full knowledge that anyone else in the cast that felt dragged by Monica on her Instagram, although I didn't really see her dragging any other cast member on her Instagram while I was watching it, but maybe I missed a few, who knows? But if they did, the production said, screw the cast, we're bringing in this troll anyway, because she's going to stir up the drama and she'll talk about Jen without Coach Shah and the kids. So this is an answer to that problem. Isn't this crazy stuff? Like, oh my God, it's almost more dramatic behind the scenes. Now, Jen wants you guys to know something else. She was never friends with Monica Fowler. And the story that Murillo has been spreading online is true. Coach Shah hired Monica Garcia's husband off of the application thumbnail, and he was working at their house for a few months doing work. The husband knew Jen Shah was on the show and was doing the show. And Jen Shah believes that is why he brought Monica Garcia Fowler to the house so that the husband could show Monica Jen Shah and she could be close to a television celebrity like Jen, a reality star. And Monica wanted to be a reality star. So she wanted to know like what was the behind the scenes, anything she could get out of Jen. So the husband brings Monica to the house as like his wife. And that's how Jen knew her. I don't know if Jen ever paid her any money. I don't know if she really asked her to head up a company or not. Some of the things Monica said on season 4 about Jen, but I did send a bunch of questions to Jen. But suffice it to say, Jen's initial response about her relationship with Monica was that she barely knew the girl. They were not friends. And it all happened through her husband. And she definitely knew Jen Shah was on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, which is why she came around. Now, Jen didn't know that Monica was spying on her and stalking her and working with Koa to get information or recordings of her and, you know, do this reality Von Tease thing until later. She found that out later. So let me just conclude that part by saying that if Jen had allowed Coach Shah and her children to go on the show, probably Monica wouldn't have made it into season 4. But they were sort of retaliating. As soon as they said no to that, the manager guy never heard from production again. Now, some separate gossip. So if you've been waiting to support my YouTube channel, now would be the time to join the Patreon. It's $10.99 and I drop like 3 shows a week, plus what you see out here. It's all different content, no overlap. And you could get the full tea drop on the Jen Shah information she shared with me. So Jen did not cause Heather Gay's black eye, and Jen was really shocked that the network and Andy Cohen and Shed Media would have Heather Gay say that on camera because it could cause her problems with, you know, prison and all that. And she really feels like Andy and them were, in a sense, retaliating from some of the business dealings that they had that didn't go well at the end, i.e. the one-on-one interview that didn't happen with Andy Cohen. And when I found out the reason, which is in the Patreon, it was very reasonable as to why she didn't do it. The whole story's in there. But she really thinks that season 4 retaliation was having Heather Gay say that she caused the black eye. And as I mentioned, I believe her because the gossip I heard was that Heather had hit it on like a weird apparatus that was in her room. I think it was in the bathroom, if I remember correctly. So I really do believe Jen's telling the truth about not doing the black eye. And I believe she's correct and that they are retaliating against her in the worst way possible. I don't think it's Monica's mom who wants to be a housewife. It sounds like the producer Laurie does. Just saying. Oh, by the way, did you hear the tea that Brandi Glanville spilled? Speaking of very odd producers. Listen to
And
this.
I also have a little tea about Housewives, the producer who produced this. It's not bad, but he was previously our sound guy, one of them on Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And then he got moved to the OC as a producer. And he had an affair with one of the housewives, allegedly. So they moved him to Salt Lake.
I do think it's rich that Brandi's spilling this tea since she made out with Alex Baskin in season 2. You know who he is. Oh, a producer. So in tonight's show of the reunion, we have a scene where Monica says that her mom has always wanted to be on TV and really wanted to be a housewife. And in fact, at some point, Monica feels like she screwed up the audition for Housewives, and her mom pray. And her mom says, I pray that if Monica doesn't get the housewife position, I get it. Which, by the way, sounded like total BS, like just absolute nonsense. I have no doubt that Monica's mom was impacted by the cameras like everybody, and she loved being on TV. But I really don't think she ever thought she was going to trump Monica and become a housewife. In fact, all the released audios I heard, and I'm not talking about the ones on the reunion, but the like 90 other ones dropped by Monica's bestie, Tanisha, show that Monica and her mother were conspiring together to keep Monica on the show and get her as much camera time as possible. Let me just remind you of something that was leaked to do with this.
The only thing that you did was unite those 4 assholes. That's the only thing that you did. How can you forget that your job is to get on air time, to get into as many scenes as possible? You gotta play nice. I know you don't like her. I know you got beef with her, but you're an actress. You gotta pretend like all is right in the world. It's a job. It's a show. It's a reality show that you worked hard to get on. You left me completely in the fucking water with these bitches. You took Angie's side. I was not a disaster. I was not an embarrassment. You were in someone's home yelling and dropping S. So was everyone else. Go yell at Ben. Go yell at Heather. Go yell at Lisa. No one else was. Yes, they were. You should have been listening harder then, I guess. You should have been listening harder. She started it. Don't come over here and start this shit with me. Don't make it personal. You don't understand? Go talk to Laurie because you're a fucking mess. And you fucked it up yesterday. She's the head person. You should know who she is.
There's producer Laurie's name brought up again. Boy, she gets around, doesn't she?
Angie started it. You put a kibosh on. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. Oh, okay. You don't know what you're doing. Fine. You came over and you abandoned me. I abandoned you? I abandoned you. I took the day off. Are you fucking serious right now? On the last day of the month. Are you fucking serious right now? I had to drive home in a shit box. A shit box? You should be grateful they paid for your ride. How about thank you for giving me a free ride home? How about thank you? I took the day off from work to do that. I did say that. And then you fucking... Yes, I did.
Listen to this coaching session the mom gives Monica at the end of this conversation. It's so relevant to tonight's part 2. That's why I'm playing this again.
House. You lost sight of the vision. You lost sight of the job. Oh my God. You lost sight. You got out of control. And that's why Laurie said my shit was the best of everyone that night.
Oh, Laurie's name again. She thought that Monica did the best job of all the women that night on the show, or at least that's what she told Monica. Wanna bet she told everybody else the same thing?
Everyone else got the fucking ball. You're the hottest mess. That makes you the best. Yeah. That's what you want. Get the assignment. That's what you want. Get the assignment. You were disgusting. You looked like an awful mother. You didn't even fucking care I fell down the stairs. No, all you wanted. Wow. Okay, get out. Get out. Dead ass.
I don't think it's Monica's mom who wants to be a housewife. It sounds like the producer Laurie does. Just saying. So at the end of this video, I'll drop a bunch of leaked voices of Monica, and you guys could apply them as you see fit in your interpretation of the reunion season 4. Now let's get into the real recap now. So after Monica and her mother are discussed in part 2 of the reunion, we move on and it becomes about Monica Garcia at Angie's Greek party that she hosts for the group. Monica starts crying. She's visibly upset from fighting with her mom and, Angie. And she goes, I guess, to get her kids to leave and she falls down the stairs. And they do show the footage of her falling down the stairs because a cameraman hears her fall and runs, around the corner to see it. And some of the guests that attend the party check on her, including Angie's husband. And she's like stunned and not doing well, but she's okay. Then I guess what happens is Angie tells Monica to F off because of the rumor she spreads about her husband being gay. From hearing it from Jen is what's alluded to. And so then Monica retaliates with, I'm going to sue you for falling down the stairs. Then Monica alleges that Meredith offers to help her, since she's a lawyer, take Angie's house for falling down the stairs. And Meredith denies it. But Monica's sort of like, it seems like they cut something out of the reunion there. I don't know what was said or happened, but something was cut. Now this moment becomes very heated between Angie and Monica. And what happens is Angie says you bought a fancy purse to fit in the group rather than doing something for your kids. And she puts her down and Monica flips out because she mentions her kids. And then Angie says something that I caught, which, because I was on the show, meant a lot more to me than probably the rest of the people. But she says, nobody wants you here. Nobody wants you here, which means nobody wanted Monica casted on the show. And the women do not want her on the show. They want to push her out. That's what that is. Not for drama, for real. Okay, just to be clear. So then Monica's mother, Linda, is brought up again, and Monica claims that Linda got pissed because production invited her to Bermuda originally to go with the girls, and then they canceled the trip on the mother last minute. And then the mother, being the way she is, contacted Monica's relatives. And I found out through, I think it was her ex account, that she basically told the relatives not to see Monica, not because she didn't want Monica to see the relatives in Bermuda, but because she advised the relatives in Bermuda not to have the cameras shoot Monica meeting up with them or having them in their house shooting with cameras. She warned them that, the production company is like shady is what I think, and don't trust them. And then that made it so they couldn't shoot. And then that's why Monica was crying. And I think Monica thought that when that happened, maybe her casting was at risk. And that's why she bawled so hard in the bathroom. I'm telling you, I know this is the case. I just know it. So then Whitney, who hasn't done a lot on the show as of yet, says that her and her mom have been estranged on and off for years. And there were many years that the mom forgot her birthday and she hasn't talked to her dad. She had to cut him out of her life because he was so toxic and he doesn't want to be around her either. And then Angie alludes to the lawsuit that Heather Gay has against Monica Garcia for not paying a beauty lab bill for $2,000. And they gloss over it and they don't really talk about it. I'm thinking that'll be in part 3. I don't know, but it was just briefly mentioned and then they move on. And that lawsuit's still happening. And then we go through all the many names of Monica. Monica Darnell, Monica Dakota, Monica Garcia, Monica Delgado, and Monica's middle name is Linda. For all of you sleuths out there, have fun with that. So then Mary shows up and Andy is salty with her. He puts her down a few times because she doesn't go to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 2 reunion. We all get a feeling that Shed must have been pretty desperate to bring Mary back on the show. We know the rules. If you don't show up for the reunion, you're supposed to not ever show up again. But here Mary finds herself. So I think Andy probably resents how hard up they were that they had to actually have Mary back, even though she broke the rules. So Andy finds out from Mary that it was the fact that everybody was calling her a cult leader and that Whitney called her husband a predator and some other things that made Mary not want to go on that season of the reunion because it was just too much for her to bear, all the bad speak that was happening at that time against her religious church that she runs. So anyway, Mary then says that she likes most of the ladies, but doesn't like Heather because Heather dragged her house a little bit when she went over, which made no sense, but Mary doesn't make a lot of sense. And Heather, she calls Heather inbred, and she thinks the criticism that Heather makes about her house is worse than calling Heather inbred. It's just so bizarre. Then Mary says that she thinks Whitney's a racist because she's Mormon, because all Mormons are racist, but yet she has nothing against the Mormon religion. And then she seems to announce that she's got some sort of Mormon Jewish roots or something. She murmurs that. I couldn't understand that. And then Whitney asks her like several times, did I do anything racist to you? Tell me if I did and I'll apologize. And Mary's like, no, you didn't do anything racist, but because you were in the Mormon religion, you are racist and you have an undertone of racism. And I can't explain it to you. You'd have to be Black to experience it. And that's what she says. And Whitney's really accepting of it. And all the women seem to agree that they understand where Mary's coming from because in the Mormon religion, I guess it is based in racism, Heather says. I don't know. So that's that. So a partial voice is played by Lisa Barlow to Mary to show that Monica Garcia called Mary like a dumb bitch or something. And Lisa's like, how could you stick up for her, basically, and like her when she called you a dumb bitch behind your back? And then Monica says you took that out of context. So at the end of this video, I'll play you the full voice and you guys can decide for yourself if you think Monica was dragging Mary or not, and Mary should be friends with Monica or not, based on the full voice that Lisa plays a little bit of in part 2. Mary says she does not know if her son got married. She says that she heard him having sex and it was very loud and almost like a porno. So she told her son's girlfriend that she should keep it down and not make him feel like he's good in bed if he isn't and faking it and all this stuff. And she says she won't call the girlfriend the wife because she hasn't seen the license, so she doesn't believe it's real. And the son hasn't shown it to her, so she's not acknowledging it. And then, of course, the wife goes to live with Mary, and they don't talk about this on the reunion, but if you remember, the girls' parents originally said that Mary was like kidnapped their daughter. And I think what happened was the son, unbeknownst to the parents, asked the daughter to move in with him. And then the parents were like, you've kidnapped our daughter. And then I guess he said, I got married to her. So then they forgave it because then that criminal allegation against Mary and her son went away. So I think that's what happened, just as a way of background for you guys, in case you didn't know that, because there was this kidnapping charge against Mary, which is maybe where Whitney came up with the predator concept a while ago. So that's it. And we didn't hear a peep about her church or anything. They're staying away from that. And I'd say that was negotiated by Shed. Now, the women admit they needed Mary back. And that was all true. That's what I heard from many of the cast members, that they felt that they did need Mary to keep the show interesting and happening. Desperate times require desperate measures. All right, now for the voices. Yay, you guys have fun with this, okay? Like, subscribe, and send me supers. I don't make very much money on the advertising on here at all. It's really getting hard to justify keeping the channel going unless I get more Patreons and supers. It's just, very frustrating. I don't know what else to say.
Girl, I know. That's exactly why I called her a snake. Like, you dumb bitch. Like, low-key, I want to DM Mary from, like, a burner account. She probably wouldn't ever see it. And just be like, bitch, I could do it from Reality Von Peace. Okay? But anyway, Because we know she'd be watching that shit, and she would open our messages and just be like, just so you know, Jillian, one of our followers fucking said that she said everything. Just so you fucking know. Bitch, that girl is a fucking dirty rat. She's a rat. Of these types of things, Bravo will not touch you again with a 10-foot pole. And that's exactly what I was saying. I'm not trying to ruin my credibility or name or future like that. Bitch, what happens if fucking Lisa Barlow or Meredith Marks somehow, we don't know, okay, we got in with Jen, we would never be able to do that again. Because, like, look, at the end of the day, my goal is to be a star, bitch. Kind of joking, but also kind of serious. Like, I don't want to ruin my chances for ever being on a Bravo show. Hello. No! You guys, I think I might drive up to Park City because the movers are coming today. What do you guys think? Should I do it? To record? For, like, BTS reality Von Tease footage?
Well, many of the fans were
sure
what set Tanisha off so much, but something did. Maybe Heather Gay said, listen, you know, you owe this to me to fix this situation, and this is her doing it. Now, I'm building up to the cease and desist because you're going to get a lot out of that because this was before any of this came out, and it has the truth in it. So hold on a second while I play you the video that Tanisha dropped of Monica and her mom screaming at each other.
The only thing that you did was unite those four assholes. That's the only thing that you did. How can you forget that your job is to get on air time, to get into as many scenes as possible? You gotta play nice. I know you don't like her. I know you got beef with her, but you're an actress. You gotta pretend like all is right in the world. It's a job. It's a show. It's a reality show that you worked hard to get on. You left me completely in the fucking water with these bitches. You took Angie's side. I was not a disaster. I was not an embarrassment. You were in someone's home yelling and dropping S. So was everyone else. Go yell at Ben. Go yell at Heather. Go yell at Lisa. No one else was. Yes, they were. You should have been listening harder then, I guess. You should have been listening harder. She started it. Don't come over here and start this shit with me. Don't make it personal. You don't understand? Go talk to Laurie because you're a fucking mess. And you fucked it up yesterday. She's the head person. You should know who she is. Okay. You are insane. You looked like a crazy person. Just so you know. I took the day off. Super classy. I took the day off from I fell down the fucking stairs. And all you could. That's on you. Wow. Nobody pushed you down the stairs. Wow! Get out of my house. Get the fuck out of my house. Get the fuck out of my house. I fell down the stairs and you're like, that's on you. That's on you. You're disgusting. You're disgusting. You are disgusting. Bye. Thank you for coming over with this toxic shit. Thank you. Fucking balls. Take the fucking balls. You are so gross. Your kid falls down the stairs and you say that's on me. You are so gross. You should not. You are so gross. You shouldn't have run away. Run away? I was leaving. You were in my face. You shouldn't have run away. Being disgusting. In front of all those people. Disgusting. I was being disgusting. Angie started that shit. Angie started it. You put a kibosh on. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. Oh, okay. You don't know what you're doing. Fine. You came over and you abandoned me. I abandoned you? I abandoned you. I took the day off. Are you fucking serious right now? The last day of the month. Are you fucking serious right now? I had to drive home in a shit box. A shit box? You should be grateful they paid for your ride. How about thank you for giving me a free ride home? How about thank you? I took the day off from work to do that. I did say that. And then you fucking... Yes, I did. Mom, stop. The fact that you are the victim right now. I'm not saying I'm the victim. lost sight of the job. Oh my God. You lost sight. You got out of control.
And that's why Laurie said my shit was the best of everyone that night, and everyone else dropped the fucking ball.
You were the hottest mess. That makes you the best.
Yeah.
That's what you
get
want.
the assignment.
That's what you
get
want.
the assignments.
You want
were disgusting. You looked like an awful mother. You didn't even fucking care I fell down the stairs.
No,
All you
I
wanted
didn't.
Wow. Okay, get out. Get out. Dead ass. Get out of my house. Nana is waiting. She's very upset. Thanks.
And your boobs hanging out was disgusting.
Okay.
Well, if you wondered if... So Laurie, the producer at Shed Media, has been hard at work, just toxifying relationships left and right. You're going to hear her mentioned in this fight that Monica had with her mom about getting more camera time and how Monica needs to play the show different than she is because she needs to act like more of a mess, but not a jerk. And, you know, her mom's coaching her and Monica's telling her that she's manipulating everybody anyway, and she's doing a great job getting camera time. And gee, it's just one big acting job to Monica, I guess, and very, very manipulative. Honestly, there's nothing reality about Monica from this. Now, I bring this up on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Reunion Season 4, Part 2, because, well, a big conversation of the show is about Monica's relationship with her mom. And supposedly, Monica's mom wanted to be a housewife, which I don't believe, honestly. I think Monica's mom wanted to be on TV, and I think Monica's mom got really triggered by the games the producers play, like the last minute invitations or non-invitations to things. But needless to say, I would say that, that's not true. I don't think Monica's mom wanted to be a housewife. I think she enjoyed the TV part, though, until she didn't. And I think Monica Garcia's mom definitely called the relatives and said, don't have Monica come because of the television crews. And that is all. It was nothing to do with Monica. It had everything to do with the TV show shooting with the family. What I really enjoyed on the reunion tonight was that Heather Gay said Shed Media is doing an investigation on reality Von Tease too. And I have no idea what the hell that investigation could actually be about because, frankly, they've known since the very beginning that reality Von Tease too was Monica, and they casted with that knowledge. And I know they've said otherwise publicly, but it's not true. Let me explain. Now, there's a thing shouted at the end of the reunion tonight, and I just don't want to forget to mention it, which was that Shed or Bravo's doing some sort of investigation on Monica as it relates to reality Von Tease too. But production casted Monica knowing that reality Von Tease 2 was her account. So what kind of investigation are they doing? An investigation on themselves? That's not going to get very far.